is the last of our 5-week session with Sue Worrall, one of our Intrabiz members, who's going to be talking about Healthy You, Healthy Business. And this is an overall evaluation of all the things that Sue has been talking about over the last weeks. So are you as healthy as your business needs you to be? That answer is no. Then you can reach out to Sue Worrall, actually anybody else on this network, because we've all got our little bit of knowledge, more than a little bit. We've all got our knowledge on Healthy You, Healthy Business. But thank you so much, Sue, for these amazing 5 weeks, and over to you.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for inviting me to share my knowledge with everyone. And yeah, everybody's full of knowledge, and we've all got our little expertise. So please get in touch with all of us if you want anything, like, for example, Joe and sleep, Claire and fitness and overall wellness, and Heather and linking health to your business. Yeah, all of us. We've got, and by the way, Camilla, that was a brilliant introduction. It's so clear now, your introduction. It is fabulous. So can I share my screen, please?
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, let's get rid of this out of the way. And you should be able to see. I'm going to go back there first, go back that way first. Hang on. Just try that again. Okay, I'll run it like this because you can see the other one, then it's quite good when there's only a few of us on. So this is about building your immune system, because this is so relevant now with this other strain of COVID turning up, and it's not going to go away, and we just going to have to live with it. So people sort of take their immune system for granted, and all the pillars I've been talking about all come back to having good cardiovascular health, having good mind, brain health, and all that together, building your immune system. Your immune system is as complex as your nervous system. And we need that for work. If we are sick, we cannot work. If you run our own businesses particularly, we cannot work if we're sick, and we cannot motivate others. So our immune system is mega important for Healthy You, Healthy Business. So we should be able to just keep going in life. We shouldn't be aging enough that it stops us doing great things. So this is my life between 57 and 74. There'd be more recent ones, but COVID stopped it. So this is the end of 2019. So I'm still going. I booked a holiday with a dive session on it. I'm diving in Cuba. That's 2018. So we should be able to do all the things and all the adventurous things that we always love. It's just our mindset and our body's wellness that can stop us. I'm not going to read all these slides. I'm just going to explain them, but these are my presentation for one I've got on Saturday. So people need to understand what a virus is. It's not an infection. It is made up of nucleic acid, and the material is either DNA or RNA. It doesn't have its own structure. It needs to invade our cells. It is a parasite. And it needs to invade our cells to recreate itself. So viruses are made to mutate. So they keep saying, oh gosh, there's another one, that's a surprise. And it shouldn't be like that, because it goes into our immune system, and our immune system's natural killer cells are there ready, waiting to zap it. The problem is, if we increase our killer cells too much, we increase that gap between our frontline defenders and our smart cells, our T cells and B cells and C cells, which are the smart cells, which they try and make the spike for, and that comes in after. If the gap widens, we have autoimmune problems, and that's what we're building today if we're not careful. So ensuring general good health is mega important. So link this to antioxidants, because antioxidants are chemical compounds that retard, that slow down oxidation. And oxidation is what makes our body deteriorate. And where do we get antioxidants? Fruits and vegetables, grains, whole grains, nuts and seeds. That's the only place we get antioxidants. So your grandmother was right. Eat your greens, eat your fruits and vegetables. And no matter how many times we say it, people just don't do it. And we've got to get this message across even more vehemently than we were before. So is what you're eating healing or harming you? Because this is the biggest wake-up call we've had for hundreds of years, really. And to me, if you make a difference, as women, we are the center of the family, the center of the family. And even if we're business women and run our own business, we're still center of the family as well. And we influence not just our family, which we influence greatly, we influence others. And the thing about influence is people do what you do, not what you say. So this is what we're being told: eat your fruits and vegetables. We're living longer, but we're living sicker. And the NHS in the UK is crumbling. I don't know what it's like in Sweden, but I know in the government, there's already plans drawn out to privatize the NHS. So soon we're all going to be paying for all that we're doing. And the way the world is, it's not helping. So we need to look after ourselves. We cannot depend on the doctor. My friend who's been very sick, unfortunately has passed away now. They were really good friends, lovely, lovely friends. But they always sort of took the mickey of me, saying things, oh, she won't eat a donut, she wants an apple, this sort of thing. But there we go, he's dead and I'm not. Bless him, he was a lovely guy. But I said to him once, so what tablets are you on, Don? What medication? He said, oh, I don't know. He said, that's my doctor's business. And I said, would you tell the garage man that the petrol in your car is his business? No, you don't. You'd be careful of your new car, because he just had a new car at the time, what petrol you put in it. So you can get a new car, but if your body breaks down, where else are you going to live? You need to look after your body. Now, this is just how clever our immune system is. These are T cells, our smart cells. And every day we have 10,000 hits on cells to them to become cancerous. And every day our T cells are backup for the ones that start to not die, because cancer is non-cell death. So this is a slide of a 35-year-old woman, very healthy, whose own body she had a very early diagnosis of a cancer lump in her breast. And this is her own body sorting it out. I bought these and I've used them for years because it's just an amazing picture. So these are our T cells, like it's a candy floss, and I like they're smaller than a pinhead. And they inject the cancer, which was that with all the tentacles coming out. They inject the cancer with something called perforin, and it implodes and goes out through our waste system. So I should have taken this slide out because I spelled a spelling mistake in it, made the drawing, but a spelling mistake in. So these are the pillars we've been talking about, the big pillars: hydration, quality sleep, Joanne, exercise, and mindset. And underneath it all, holding it all up, is nutrition. So first of all, just a quick thing on exercise and hydration. And hydration, we say, yeah, we must drink more water, but we don't think about it, because this is the result of dehydration: headaches, wrinkles, allergies, infections, heart disease, pendulous edema, that's like puffy eyes, swollen ankles, constipation, some cancers, obesity, pain, and tired and foggy brain. So if you knew you were going to get one of those, why wouldn't you drink a glass of water? And yet people don't. We use water in our brain all the time. Our brain doesn't have roads all the way through. It goes, thoughts and actions and messages pass across mucous membrane, which is just floating across water. So our brain is 80% water, so we must hydrate ourselves. Exercise, this is why we wrote and invented Walk the Weight Off, because 30 minutes of exercise, and this was actually HIIT exercise that it looked at, and they say now it's 15 minutes of HIIT exercise alongside cooling down exercise to cover up to 30 minutes. It can cut the risk of cardiovascular disease by 50%. Now, drug companies spend millions to get a 10% reduction, even a 3% reduction. 50% is enormous. So these are the benefits of exercise. I'm not going to read them through, but they are absolutely obvious to some, maybe not so good to others, but they not so obvious to others, but they are really important. And physical exertion really does boost our mitochondrial function. And our mitochondria is all the bacteria in our gut, and microbiota is the name of the actual bacteria right through our body. So nutrition. Why is nutrition so important? Because of the antioxidants, because of all the other properties, because of the way fiber works, because it promotes our gut brain. It does all these things. It helps vision, stroke, heart disease, Alzheimer's, cancers, type 2 diabetes, which is none of it should be. And we can prevent a lot of those by eating enough fruits and vegetables. We used to say 5 a day in the UK. We actually managed 2.4, but we should be having 10 to 15, and most of those should be veg. So I once posted this up about polyphenols in berries. It slipped out of the slide, sorry. And at the time, Tesco's, Asda were fined £200,000 for saying fruits and veg help prevent cancers. And this is about, there was a drug released, a new drug, which decreased the reduction of mortality from cardiovascular disease by 15%. And on the bottom in red letters, it said, can cause fatal infections. Well, that's nice. Percentage of that, I could have get a fatal infection by having it. But if you just eat berries, it reduces the mortality by 30%. So we need nature's pharmacy with an F, run by farmers, not a pharmacy with a PF, written by chemists and pharmacists. We need to fill our body with this, because the major antioxidant in our body is glutathione. We produce that. We produce it to keep us alive. It is our backstop for cosmic radiation and things like poisoning. And we cannot make it without antioxidants. And if we don't get enough antioxidants every day to combat the natural stresses we have and toxins we live with, then it eats into our store of glutathione, and that makes us wide open to disease. And this is what happens when a virus attacks and we can't fight it. We've got no backstop. So the microbiome I've mentioned is really important, and probiotics, as I said last week, are fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables are probiotics. You don't need to take those, just need to eat stuff with fiber. Really important, because of all these chemicals. 94 chemicals are toxic in the brain. The chemicals for our hormones goes right the way through. And if we just try to cut down eating on its own, then the toxins get concentrated and we get a headache. We then pick up diseases and our body's struggling, because most toxins are held in fat cells until they're broken down. So what we need to do is do it slowly and healthily, then we get clean, and then we get no rebound, which is very important for business. So this is a brilliant video. I'll send you the link. I was going to Claire was going to play it when I wasn't here, but she didn't get my message. I'm sorry. So I'll give you a link to that, because it's a really interesting video. So the last one is positive mindset. Mega, mega important. And this is completely controlled by what we eat and our gut bacteria. And once again, this is what we need to do. So I'm just going to tell you before I close. I'll stop screen sharing. And I'm just going to tell you, I'll give you a little taster of our presentation, our first Health Hub Academy workshop next Tuesday. And I'm going to be really kind to you, and I'm going to send you all a coupon for it if anybody wants to come on. So this is not the usual workshops. I've looked at I listened to 16 TED Talks and medical talks on the latest research, etc. And I've gone through about 25 presentations that I could get hold of. And they all sort of do the same, and they all sort of linger on the symptoms. And it's nice for people to recognize that they're not alone, and it's great camaraderie, but it's not helping people do anything. So just one of the important things you need to know is that male and female brains are constructed the same, But when it comes to aging, in the Middle Ages, women, the sex hormones are estrogen and progesterone. And in women, our estrogen lowers in our 40s. Men, their progesterone doesn't lower enough to make a significance, usually till they're 60, 70, or even 80 sometimes. They've got a testosterone thing going on, but that's not part of like comparing them to having male menopause, because they don't. So the important thing about this is that our ovaries talk to our brain and our brain talks to our ovaries. They've got a direct conversation, vice versa, all the time. So healthy ovaries, healthy brain, healthy ovaries. So what happens when you have no ovaries like me and they took them away? Problem, eh? So in middle age, our estrogen goes down, and what the estrogen does to the brain is it tells the brain to burn glucose for energy. It pushes the brain into action. So I'm talking about the brain's energy. So the neurons all fire, makes you healthy, helps keep the hormones balanced, etc. When the estrogen lowers, the neurons slow down. And what happens then is being shown that women can make plaque, and that plaque is the precursor to Alzheimer's. So anyone who's had a hysterectomy, where the ovaries moved as well, myself included, we need to address that deficit because we become in high risk. This doesn't happen in men because it's much slower, and that doesn't happen. And it counts for the fact there are 2/3 women with Alzheimer's compared to men. Almost 3 times as many women with Alzheimer's as there are in dementia as there are men. So what is the answer? HRT is not quite as big a risk as they said, but it's still a risk. And it's really good for helping you cope with the symptoms, but it makes no difference to plaque happening. So it's not the answer. So what's the answer? Guess what? Fruits and vegetables. Would you believe it? 5 different high-level specialists, one lady from the New York Institute who runs the New York Brain Institute, amazing lady, said exactly that. So what we want to do is fill our diet with plant estrogens. So those are, I'm making a list for the menopause thing. So we want to fill our diet with with high levels of estrogen, particularly ones like sage and dried apricots, and like some of the pulses. They have got estrogen that's very similar to female human estrogen. So it just tops it up enough for that not to happen. But guess what? By the way of that, then it helps the symptoms as well. So in our workshop, we'll be talking about what areas of the brain are hit to make our thermostat not work, to make brain fog and anxiety, and to make sleep problems. We'll be talking about the connection to the 3 areas of the brain that happens when our estrogens lower or progesterones interfere with it as well. So that's our talk, and I will give you all a coupon to join us if you want to next Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. I'm sorry, Claire, it's on your night, but it's the only one Emma could do.
And I really wanted to listen to that talk as well. So
it'll be on again. We're going to record it. It'll be on once a month. So I don't know. It depends on our numbers because we're recording the first one. Your coupon might be on the week after, but okay. After that it'll be running on a morning, an afternoon, and evening every week. So okay. You can go on, and it'll be a paid thing, but you'll have a coupon to get it free.
Fantastic. Thank you. So no, I saw the email came the other day and I was like, yeah, I want to go on to that. Oh
yeah, good.
It's 9 o'clock.
I'm glad you got the email as well. So because that's our first, we're starting our emailing system now through it.
Yeah, I got that email.
Now we're just at the bit where we're out there, getting out there now and working with everyone rather than building the inside. So it's good. So yeah, thank you. If you have any questions, I will send you information again, a PDF information, and I'll send you the link to that video and another video which it relates to antioxidants and how our body works.
Just reach out to Sue and ask her for that information, and I'm sure she'll send it to you. That was fabulous, brilliant. Thank you, Sue. You hit on something which has always actually made me curious, and I've always thought about this all my professional health career. And it's like, when people know, you said about drinking water, when people know that drinking water is good for you, why don't we do it? Now I've got the answer. And it's like, and it's just like when people are smoking, why, if they know that's going to kill them, why do they carry on smoking?
There's one physical answer first, and that is that when you are dehydrated, you can't drink. It's a very, our body
to even get to that point.
It's unpleasant to drink. You can only sip.
Yeah, this always made me. This always made me wonder. It's like, why are we letting ourselves go that far? Why do we know that this is not good for us? This can waste our time, but we still do it. Okay, I'm reading the book Atomic Habits, and this really made sense. When you have a negative habit, like the phone, like watching loads and loads of Netflix, like not drinking enough water, like smoking, the actual gratification is an instant gratification.
Yes,
and as humans, we want that instant gratification. Now, when we have like if we have a smoking habit, gratification is that smoking. It's nothing to do with the cigarettes at the beginning. It's that breath coming in. It's jitting coming in. So that makes you feel relaxed. So that's the instant gratification. So all your positive habits, like exercising, like drinking water, like not watching so much TV, not wasting the time on the phone, they actually take that time and effort to actually have those good consequences. The negative habits, you don't have the negative consequences until it's too late. It was really, really interesting. So what they were saying is, when you want to create these positive habits, is that you have to create an instant gratification for yourself. So for example, if you're going to start exercising, it's basically just putting on your gym kit. And then what that does to your mind, well, if I'm putting on my gym kit, well, I may as well go to the gym, but I'm only going to the gym for 5 minutes. Well, I'm already here for 5 minutes, so I may as well stay here for 10 minutes. So it's actually bringing in those instant gratifications. And actually, when you're goal setting, or when you're actually focusing on a behavior change, is thinking about something that's instant for you, so that you can actually change it to be a good way. That always made me think years ago, was like my father-in-law, perfect example. He would smoke, my ex-father-in-law, not my new one, my ex. He would smoke half a bottle of whiskey every day, right? And he would smoke 20 cigarettes every day. But he'd drink his cranberry juice in the morning because it was healthy. And it just always made me think, why? And then it was even like, I've seen somebody walking up a hill, with an asthma pump in one hand and a cigarette in another. And I'm like, why? And now that makes perfect sense to me.
There's another bit of more side to that, though, with smoking, alcohol, drugs, and ultra processed food, because the manufacturers have put the science behind it. That it's not just the instant gratification. It makes new neural pathways. Yeah. Which are there. So you've always got the shortcut open. Yeah. And we don't yet know whether they'll ever disappear.
Well, what I'm studying at the moment is the brain, and they are saying science, with effort from you as the person, that you can actually change some things. And I'm not, I am no expert. I'm only just starting to read
you can decide to not use them.
Yeah, and it's 3 parts of your brain that you're actually using. So you've got, they say it's like the chimp brain, the human brain, and you've got your program. So it's actually the human brain. You have to learn how to use your human brain to overrun the chimp brain.
It's also about creating new neural pathways. You say, because it's like any procrastination. It's, why do we do the thing that gives? Because you'll do the thing in the pile that gives you instant gratification. Oh, I've done something, rather than go to the gym, as you say, for that delayed gratification. And it is setting yourself up to change the neural pathway so that so that you get the buzz, the hit, whatever it is that you want in a different way from, you know, from going to the gym. And as it's kind of creating, you know, so it's like, oh, you can have a treat. You used to say to people, oh, you'll have a treat afterwards when you do this horrible thing, then we'll give you a treat. And it's all part of the same psychology.
So interesting.
And it's kind of creating it for yourself. And as Jan knows, in terms of your sleeping, yeah, the reward is
the addiction.
Stop doing your phone.
The addiction pathways linked to the frontal lobe as well. They are much stronger.
Yes.
And unfortunately, a year later now, almost in the guy who did it, he's still got that pathway. Now, children's brain is more plasticity, so it might not link to the frontal cortex so much. You might be able to stop it, but at the moment there's big research and they don't know. But those are addiction pathways. But the other one, we can use all these methods of, you know, human brain, etc. Yeah.
It's just amazing. I've always wondered that. Okay, I'm going to press the stop button. I'm going to stop recording. Thank you so much, Sue, and then we can ask any questions. But before we ask questions, then, Jitin's on, the only man in the group today. I'd like you to introduce yourself. So over to you, Jitin. Introduce yourself. Give us a minute of your time.